Well, I think the first thing that I should say to all of you is be prepared to expect the unexpected. I would never have imagined 15 years ago that I would be up here giving this address, and honestly, I think most of the faculty wouldn't have yet either. The world is full of surprises. Mostly that's a beautiful thing. I can tell you from experience that if you follow your passion, life won't ever be boring. Although hopefully when your exciting moments make the front page of the Projo, it'll be for reasons that will make your parents a little bit less anxious than mine were last fall. When I look at all of you right now, I feel a mixture of sadness and excitement for the moment that you're in. You probably felt like the last 4 years took forever to pass and are ready to get through the exit door to start your adult lives as fast as you can right now. But I promise you, you're going to look back on the friendship, dramas, and purity of this time with nostalgia. In the few moments that you have left with each other, remember to cherish the people next to you, tell them you love them, and wish them well on their journeys. Whatever happens next, things will never be the same. But that's a good thing. You're all standing on the precipice of an amazing process of learning, growth, and hopefully a lot of fun, no matter what you do. I'm jealous of you guys for the moment that you're in right now. You'll change so much over the next 4 or 5 years that you'll barely recognize the person who's sitting in your chair. If you think you've got it all mapped out and know exactly where you'll be 10 years from now, forget it. The human connections and independence that you're about to experience will transform you in all kinds of incredible ways. It's going to be a wild ride. Embrace it and keep your eyes open. But I'll tell you now that it's not going to be easy. You'll face unforeseen obstacles in the coming years and will have to confront yourself over and over again. At least, I hope you will. Developing courage in the face of fear, uncertainty, and resistance is what will build the character you need to make a difference in a world that badly needs people to act out of love and bravery to change it for the better. Nobody is going to hand your destiny to you, and they shouldn't. But I promise you, you have the tools you need to accomplish great things, all of you. Step up to the plate, grasp your talents, and offer them to the world. We need it right now. As you know, I've had a bit of a dramatic year. I had a brush with my own mortality directly in the wake of seeing human suffering in a rawness and intensity that I had never before encountered. People just like you and me, going about their lives and caught up in the mundane details of work and family, were suddenly swept into an awful nightmare. The world has sharp edges, and some people can't escape them. But the experiences that I had taught me a few things that I'd like to share with you. First, remember to contemplate what's really important in life. Don't sweat the petty stuff. We take so much for granted, and as you move forward in your lives, remember to appreciate where you came from. You are loved more than you know and should cherish that. Don't wait for a crisis to show love to the people around you. It's a sign of wisdom and will bring you great joy. When I first found out that I was sick, so much of what I thought was important just vanished. I didn't care about my career or bylines or getting ahead. I realized in the days after my diagnosis what was really important: my loved ones and my spiritual growth as a human being. When I contemplated the prospect of death, what made me saddest was the thought that I'd be separated from those I cared about and that I wouldn't have the chance to nurture what was most meaningful for me. I definitely wasn't thinking about retweets or my reputation or any of the other things that we're culturally trained to obsess over. I used to hate Quaker meetings when I was here. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that I'm not alone in that. I thought they were boring and I couldn't wait for them to end. But I've come to understand that taking space to reflect and contemplate what you're about and who you are is crucial. Life is going to bombard you with mirages and try to fool you into thinking things that aren't important are life and death. Take it from me. Find time to contemplate and discover what's truly meaningful to you, and then commit yourself fully and cheerfully to its fruition. A lot of what I saw in Liberia last September was horrific. People were so afraid. There was so much uncertainty, and some experienced unfathomable losses. But more than that, I saw beauty and bravery that completely outpaced the pain and terror that was around us. Communities whose existence was threatened banded together and asked themselves, what can we do to protect each other? We know now that their efforts had more to do with bringing Ebola cases down than any of the foreign aid that was sent there. Community is so important. We live in a culture that sometimes emphasizes isolation and personal ambition. Learning to take care of your neighbors and assume responsibility for our shared problems is vital. I'd like to offer you a little bit of advice, humbly. First, don't get Ebola. It sucks. I'm pretty sure you can all manage that. If you need any tips, you can look me up. More importantly, please recognize the incredible amount of privilege that most of you have. It's real. It's nothing to feel guilty about, but it does confer some responsibility to use your power wisely. Whatever your background or family situation, graduating from a place like Moses Brown is going to give you opportunities that most people don't have. This is not an easy world for a lot of folks out there. Nobody has the right to judge you if you decide that your passion in life is to get rich or seek glory. But please make sure that you do so in a way that's considerate to your neighbors, near and far. The world is crying out for justice, compassion, and wisdom. I hope that some of you will consider devoting yourself to some form of service. We might feel that sometimes the problems of the world are insurmountable, and that the best move is to just do as well as you can for you and try to block the rest out. You can't. What happens down the block from you is your problem. It's all of our problem. I've been privileged to see amazing changes come from committed individuals and groups. It's a cliche, but it's true. You can help make this world better. Privilege carries with it the gift of responsibility, and all of us have benefited from the courage of those who fought needed battles in the past. I hope some of you will carry on their tradition. Justice doesn't come without confrontation, and somebody needs to hold the torch. We have a tendency in life sometimes to isolate ourselves into comfort zones. We feel like people who come from the same circumstances as us are the only ones who get us, and are afraid of the nakedness and self-consciousness that can come from branching out. I urge you all to be unconventional. Don't worry about what the pack thinks about you, and always kick the boundaries of where people tell you the lines are. Stay safe, but take risks. And remember, even with the world-class education, there are people out there who can teach you so much. They might not have a diploma or a degree, but they've been through experiences that you'll need to understand if you want to be a whole person. Learn to listen to people. It's desperately important and frustratingly rare. But at the same time, trust yourself and don't let others define you. In my life, I've found that the most incredible people are the ones who can connect with people from all walks of life. This requires humility, humor, and intelligence. Take what you've learned from the stack of books you're about to be buried under for 4 years and use it as the foundation for exploring the world directly. Be genuine, be real, and be bold. If you combine these qualities with knowledge and insight, nothing can stop you in life. Also, and this is crucial, find what you love. And when you do, run at it with absolute bravado and pure dedication. That's easier said than done, but what I've found holds us back a lot of the time is the simple fear of failure. My experiences this past year have taught me that life is precious and that it can be fleeting. Always believe in yourself, no matter what anyone says. Never stop leaping into the unknown, and never let fear hold you back from chasing your dreams. To conclude, I'd like to leave you with a quote from a scholar and meditation teacher that I admire very much and which has guided me in my life. If you maintain a sense of humor and a healthy distrust for the rules, there will be success. Thank you all and good luck.